It's kind of terrible when you've watched both Raw and SmackDown, and then you're going to remember both Raw and SmackDown in the same time frame. But here we go, anyways. I actually saw the Raw pre-show. They keep talking about Curtis Axel not being eliminated from the Rumble, like it's actually important. I can tell you already it's not. So anyway, Raw begins, and of course, as we should be expecting, we're going to start with the ground-shaking announcement from the Authority. And Triple H comes out, and Stephanie has decided to join him, apparently. They also try to make fun of the people who were trying to make the trending cancel WWE Network by making an analogy about the Super Bowl that made no sense. I'm sorry, but it's not a very good analogy because they kept saying things like, "Our team won. It was good for business," and everyone else and people were like, and then there was this whole weird canceled NFL Network. It's not a good analogy. This is really stupid. This is really ham-fisted and it hurts, and I want to turn off the show because Stephanie and Triple H are equating the WWE and NFL on the same level. They're treating the NFL like a scripted, predetermined sport, which it isn't. That is an insult to the WWE and real sports. Fuck you guys. Anyways, they go on to talk about the controversy, and they say that while Big Show and Kane probably shouldn't have gotten back in the ring, and it was very unsportsmanlike, that the controversy was actually about The Rock, because he wasn't involved in the Rumble. He's not even a on roster superstar. Considering the Royal Rumble has no rules, I don't see the controversy. Has no rules outside of the whole 30 entrant thing, get thrown over the top rope. Last one who has not been eliminated was a winner. Aside of that, there are no rules, and I don't understand how the Rock coming out breaks anything. But I guess they're saying that they said that the Royal Rumble, the results could have been different if The Rock hadn't come out. Yeah, I suppose so, but at that point, the only potential difference that could have happened was Rusev won the Rumble. If we are assuming Curtis Axel was eliminated because he never got in the ring, for whatever reason, they count that. Rusev was the only other person still valid in the match. So basically what they're saying is, if The Rock hadn't come out, I guess Undertaker and Kane and Big Show would have eliminated Roman Reigns. There's no proof of this. That's the only thing that we can assume. Because it's not like The Rock helped Roman throw out Rusev. Roman did that on his own. So Triple H says he wants to resolve their problem. And I ask the question, what's the fucking problem? When the match literally has no rule saying this can't happen. Roman comes out, and they're like, well, Roman, you will go down as the winner of the Rumble, but should you go on to face Lesnar? Yes. Yes, he should. That is exactly what the winner of the Rumble gets. If you are going to call him the winner of the Rumble, he gets to go to WrestleMania. There is no doubt here. You cannot... That's the reward. You can't give him the win column in the Royal Rumble and not give him the benefit of the win. Either he won and goes to WrestleMania, or he didn't. That was my thought at the time. Later, they make it a little bit more sense, but this is still fucking stupid. That's okay. That's at that point. Roman comes out, and Stephanie says this line about how Roman has been speaking very eloquently, and all I've been doing is, and all I could do was write ha 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 ha. That's one of the few things Roman has not been doing. Stephanie, shut the fuck up. Daniel Bryan then proceeds to come out. He says, what about the controversy of I never got my rematch and you stripped me of my title? Then Rollins comes out. And I'm curious as why Seth Rollins came out. Rollins says that Roman won because of The Rock. I need proof. Proof to me that Big Show and Kane were going to throw Roman out. Prove to me that Rusev would have thrown Roman out if The Rock hadn't come out. Just prove it. You can't. Then Rollins also mentions how he broke Brock Lesnar's ribs. Again, a claim with absolutely no proof. Paramedics aren't proof. And no one said he's gotten x-rays. So, no proof. Also, this part really got me. Rollins says that Daniel Bryan wasn't stripped of the title. He had to forfeit the belt because he was injured and could not. Actually, I think this was said maybe a week before or something, but it said that he could not defend his title within a certain period of time. And which at that time I asked the question, how long is that period of time? Because is it more than 4? Because it has to be more than 4 months, because that's how long between title defenses Brock Lesnar had. Otherwise, bullshit. So they set up a match that is going to be Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins tonight. The winner gets to face Roman Reigns at Fastlane. And the winner of that match at Fastlane goes on to WrestleMania to fight Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. So Fastlane, there's going to be no title defense. And I asked the question, what about Curtis Axel and Rusev? Don't they have claims too? Why are they not out here? In fact, they have better claims than, well, as far as the Royal Rumble controversy, have better claims than Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan. Since apparently this segment was about how apparently the match would have ended differently if it wasn't for The Rock. Because then the other person could have won was Rusev. So he's got a claim to this. But I guess they're just forgetting about that because he's feuding with Cena. So, anyways, Roman is given the opportunity to turn this down, though. But he agrees to it. Because he's an idiot. And I say at this point, all I can assume is there's going to be a heel turn for Roman at Fastlane. This is without knowing what happened later in the night. I'm just assuming this because Roman's kind of being a dick. He's being a dick to Daniel Bryan and Rollins and kind of everyone. And then we have Roman Reigns versus Big Show. So a repeat match from Smackdown. And all I write is, oh God, no, oh God, no, 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 no. Because their match with SmackDown was horrible. And I also asked, JBL said something, and I thought he called Big Show a Huffalump, which is like the elephant, what they call elephants in Winnie the Pooh. Weird. And I also note that Big Show has been doing these really slow spears for a few weeks now, at least that I've noticed. And I really think he should modify it so that it's more like a bullet attack, where he just runs straight at them and rams his head straight through their stomach. Hell, it put Roman out. Reopen that fucking hernia, wouldn't it? I don't know. Big Show has a huge head, so I just figured it would work. But anyways, I do note that this match was much better than the one on SmackDown, mostly because it was really short and no one did anything fucking stupid. Big Show wins because of interference, though. Then we go to learn from the Authority themselves that they could have no authority to strip Roman of the match at WrestleMania or the Rumble win, and that this was all set up. And that they have faith in Seth Rollins that he's going to win against Daniel Bryan tonight, and that he's going to defeat Roman Reigns, and he is going to go on to WrestleMania to fight Brock Lesnar. Again, being handed things when he already has the money in the briefcase. Fucking title match. Why are you giving him these opportunities? He has basically a title in a briefcase whenever he wants to be champion. Then Curtis Axel comes out, and in the back of my head, I'm like, why the fuck were you not out there during the other thing? Because apparently you weren't far behind. He says, no, don't you dare change that channel. And JBL promptly tells us to change the channel. I wish I had. And then Ambrose comes out. And apparently now they are both insane people. And I don't know why Axel is considered insane. Supposedly it's because he thinks he won the Royal Rumble. He's kind of got a legitimate gripe. That doesn't make someone crazy. Dean then throws Axel over the top rope and says, now you've been eliminated. It's not the Rumble match, so that doesn't fucking count. I still highly doubt we're going to get anything in regards to going anywhere for Curtis Axel. Then Dean Ambrose goes and talks about how he's been at WWE headquarters and he was looking at all these people's faces that were put up on the wall. And he goes, I want to see my face up there too. So I'm coming after the Intercontinental Championship belt, so he can get his face on the wall at the headquarters. But I asked the question: do we already forget that he has the longest U.S. title? He has the longest U.S. title reign in recent history. That means one of two things. One, apparently they forgot, and his face is up there and he just didn't see it. Or at WWE headquarters, even they don't think the United States Championship matters. And I swear Curtis Axel is just in this segment to bury him. I still think this is bullshit. Because he tries to attack Dean and he gets jacked again. And then we have a tag team match, The Ascension versus Gold and Stardust. And I asked the question, why are we just repeating every shitty SmackDown match? Because they had a shitty match on SmackDown. This was also a short match. Thank fucking God. Stardust is mad at Goldust and doesn't want to be called Cody. Gold and Stardust lose. The Ascension looks stupid. Finally, they announced that the match between Rusev and Cena is actually for the United States Championship. So I guess when Cena said the champ is here, That was his way of saying it is for the United States Championship. I actually like this. I think this is a good direction. It helps the belt no matter who wins. I think this is good for both wrestlers. It gets Cena out of the main event, which I think a lot of people have wanted to see for a while now. Cena can do other things. He can work programs with other people that aren't main eventers, and it can be awesome. John Cena is a good wrestler. John Cena is a good worker. I think him and Rusev will have an awesome match. Cena comes out and says something. Because he's supposed to be welcoming back. He's supposed to be welcoming back the three guys that got fired by the Authority: Ryback, Ziggler, and Rowan. And everything he says is so routine. I don't remember it. I just tuned it out. Reno once again says Rusev is undefeated, with Ryback in the ring, who has defeated him. It is by countout, but it's still a loss. And then the Authority, Stephanie McMahon specifically, makes matches for all three men that night that are supposed to be punishing. And for some odd reason, Stephanie thinks Luke Harper is some sort of destroyer and sends him to face Ryback. He's lost to Ziggler. Just saying. And then we proceed to have the Ryback versus Luke Harper match. It was a pretty standard big man match. Luke Harper is definitely the more agile of the two. Ryback wins. That's really all I have to say about that. Then we proceed to have Jimmy Uso versus Cesaro. We didn't see this match coming, considering what happened on Smackdown last week. Overall, it's a pretty safe match. Cesaro gets the win, making an 0-2 for the Usos against Kid and Cesaro. I just really hope they don't have matches every show until Fastlane. Because when they finally have their title match, I'm going to be so sick of them, I'm not going to want to watch it. And we have a segment with Miz and Mizdow backstage. There is another fan of Mizdow thing that they do, where he asks for Mizdow's signature and not the Miz's. I made a note that the guy hands Mizdow a black marker, and the thing he's asking him to sign is a picture of Miz and Mizdow wearing their black coats. And that after he wrote his name, you could not see it because he wrote black marker over the black coats. Miz then proceeds to yell at Mizdow and fire him, and then rehire him as a personal assistant. We have another segment where Eric Rowan thanks Cena for standing up for him. And then Cena proceeds to hand out advice for Rowan because he has a match against Rusev. Next match. Dolph Ziggler versus Bray Wyatt. I noted that at the in the entrance, Dolph is acting like he is on speed or something. I know he's the show off, but that was really over the top. It goes to prove, though, how over both these characters are, because there are back and forth let's go Ziggler and let's go Wyatt chants, which was kind of awesome. Though I do know that for some weird reason, the ref in this match really wanted to keep Ziggler off of Bray Wyatt. It really wasn't fair, because very similar situations with Bray, the ref never stepped in. It was weird. Maybe they're doing something with that. Maybe it was just really bad reffing. I don't know. Also note that Dolph's hair becomes more and more blonde as the match goes on, like it's some sort of magic. Now, I know what really it is. It's because he wets his hair, and then as the match continues, it gets drier and fluffs out more. So the blonde part, it covers more of the dark part. But it's funny to watch. Bray Wyatt wins. It was ultimately actually a really good match. Though I do admit he no-sells a famouser. I know. Then we have Paige versus Alicia Fox. My feed cut out. I did not see any of this match. I am not kidding. I am later to find out that apparently it was a setup, and then Nikki and Brie Bella put spray tan on Paige. I will talk more about that when I get to SmackDown. Then we have a match of Miz versus Sin Cara. Miz is distracted by Mizdow most of the match. Sin Cara gets a win because of this. Then we have another crazy Bray Wyatt promo, supposedly pointed at The Undertaker. We'll see. And then we proceed to have our main event of the night, which is Rusev versus Eric Rowan. Rusev jumps Rowan and continues to beat him up. The match never actually starts, and Rusev just keeps beating up Eric Rowan. Then when the Russian flag is supposed to be dropped like it normally is, it fucks up. Not sure if that was intentional or accidental, but apparently Rusev is really pissed. Then there is a Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan encounter. And this was obviously trying to set up or tease a heel turn for Roman. And this is also where I actually said a thing about the time allotted for defending his title. That's where I have it in my notes. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. my bad. The main event was Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan, which was a good match. But Roman Reigns comes out and costs Rollins the match. Which is funny considering Seth Rollins also had Big Show and J&J Security out there. It was more believable than when 6-on-1 Cena won, basically, but it was still kind of bad. Overall, though, a good match. Now, moving on to SmackDown. SmackDown starts with Miz TV, with special guests Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Miz TV gets canceled because Roman punches out The Miz. Apparently Roman is making tons of enemies right now. I just want to mention that. If he's not going heel, then he is going to be a face with no friends. Except for The Rock, because he's The Rock. I say this is actually a setup for more of a heel turn, or they're just teasing it to be for a whatever. Reigns wants to fight Daniel Bryan right now, but Rollins interrupts and tells Bryan that he has a handicap match tonight against J&J Security and himself. And then Miz challenges Reigns. Then we have another tag team match. We have a tag team match. Golden Stardust versus Ryback and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph has a little, you know how Ryback's called the big guy? Dolph has the little guy, a little guy strap. So I guess they're going to be the big and little guy, little LIL guy. I don't know if this is going to be a long-running tag team, but we could use more tag teams considering they're going to be breaking up Golden Stardust and Miz and Mizdow. Well, they've already broken up Miz and Mizdow, I guess. There is more dust miscommunication in this match. Overall, it's a pretty good match. Golden Stardust both are good workers. Ryback is okay, and Dolph Ziggler is pretty good. Again, Goldust calls Stardust Cody. So Goldust gets tagged in, and then Cody proceeds to leave, and Ryback and Ziggler win. Then we have Dean Ambrose versus Curtis Axel. By the way, SmackDown was a much better show, probably mostly because there was a lot of good wrestling with really good wrestlers. Mostly. Axel comes out during the commercial, so we can assume Ambrose is winning. And then Curtis Axel proceeds to tell us that we should all hashtag Axelmania. I have. You should too. It was an okay match, which is more normal for SmackDown. And at least the show lets better wrestlers wrestle. I still don't know how Ambrose explodes off the ropes, though, when he does that thing where he bounces off the middle ones. Looking at that, you would lose a ton of momentum just pulling yourself back up. I don't understand that. After Dean wins, because, as I said, Barrett shows up on the screen to address Dean. And then I say, oh fuck, he's doing a TMZ parody called the BNZ, or Bad News Zone. This is gonna hurt. Because TMZ is shit. Barrett then proceeds to say that Dean is too much of a lunatic to deserve a title match. I'm assuming Ziggler isn't getting his rematch for the Intercontinental title. Then we proceed to have an entrance gimmick versus entrance gimmick match, aka Fandango versus Adam Rose. After attempting the trust fall and it fails, Adam Rose then attacks his rosebuds. Literally, he actually starts punching them. I guess this match they're trying to make Fandango face, but no one cares. And I also note that, so Adam Rose is at least the third person currently to have a I am losing matches because I'm distracted when I shouldn't be gimmick. At least. Because Miz has it with Mizdow. Curtis Axel actually has it with the announcers. I don't know why. And Adam Rose has it with his rosebuds. We're kind of tripling up on this gimmick a little too much. It was already bad enough that you were having a entrance gimmick versus entrance gimmick match. And you're also on top of that showing... It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I hate that. I hate when they got the same thing going on for multiple people. And it's so boring. And this is why I think WWE is probably the worst show I watch. Because it's boring. This is boring. Then we move on to Miz versus Roman Reigns. Miz then reminds us that he has headlined WrestleMania. Which also just reminds us how far he has fallen. Because all Miz can do now is build up other people and make them look good. In fact, that's all he's ever really been good at. Putting other guys over and meandering in the mid-card. Actually, lower mid-card, because tag team. Miz then attacks Roman before he gets in the ring and smashes him into the steps. Even against The Miz, who the crowd apparently hates, Reigns gets booed a lot. He gets booed a ton in this match, actually. I note that The Miz is actually in control most of this match. Again, this makes Reigns look weak. And looks like that he wins by getting off his finisher and being very lucky about it. Because he quite literally doesn't get in. He gets in almost no offense before he gets in a Superman punch and a spear. And you could contribute that to Miz being shooken up from earlier getting Superman punched. This is not how you build your WrestleMania main event. Roman has proceeded to look weak over and over since WrestleMania. Or since the Royal Rumble. He beat the Big Show one time because Big Show did something fucking stupid. He beat The Miz because he got lucky and got in his Superman punch. Reigns looks so weak. Next match. Rusev versus Eric Rowan. It's a decent short match between two big guys. I am not disappointed in the wrestling this week. Roman Reigns was the worst so far on Smackdown. Then we have another rematch. Then we have a rematch from Raw. Paige versus Alicia Fox. I say, oh goody! I finally get to see this match since I didn't get to on Raw. This is when they cover the whole spray tan thing, and I say, Paige still looks like she actually has the spray tan on her stomach from Monday. I'm curious why the spray tan looks black and why she hasn't bothered to remove it. It's not like it's impossible. I do also know that I can see why people like Paige in the ring. I'm just not looking forward to her match at Fastlane because the Bellas suck. Paige is a good wrestler. I completely acknowledge that. In our main event, Mercury, Noble, and Rollins versus Daniel Bryan. This is basically a mugging on Daniel Bryan. Because that's pretty much all they do. There's a point where Rollins tells Bryan this is what it's like to be in the ring with Lesnar, and then proceeds to Sir German suplex him. I'm sorry, but no, that is nothing like to be in the ring. That is nothing like being in the ring with Brock Lesnar, because you just had a really, really clean German suplex, and Brock Lesnar is bigger, stronger, and sloppy as fuck. Unless you are coming close to killing Daniel Bryan every single time you throw him, no, not even close. Apparently, though, Rollins and J&J Security cannot win, and then they have to bring out Kane to attack Daniel Bryan, giving Daniel Bryan the DQ win. So I guess Daniel Bryan and Kane isn't over because the casket match didn't put things to rest like they kept saying it would. SmackDown was better than Raw, but the storytelling this week has been per normal recently is shit. Roman continues to be one of the weakest looking wrestlers on the card, and one of the worst talkers on the card because of the bad promos he has written for him. I don't know what they're going to do to save this. I don't know if they can. If they don't, and we get to WrestleMania and Roman wins, the WWE is going to lose so much business. People are going to hate it, or they're going to walk away, and they're going to wipe their hands of the WWE. Because there is. As dumb as it is, total non-stop action wrestling, which is at least more consistently good wrestling. At least. And when they're stupid, at least they're funny. There is Ring of Honor, which you can watch online on their website, their TV program, for free. And there is Lucha Underground. And, New Japan Pro Wrestling is also starting to get picked up here in the States. We are getting alternatives to WWE, so if they do not turn shit around soon, they're going to fuck themselves. Fuck themselves hard, and I don't know what they're going to do at that point. I'm out.